So this is Bronco Talk with Hayden and Chris, and today we'll be talking about the Broncos Week 3 recap / Week 4 predictions.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, so what about last week? Who did the Broncos play last week?
So the Broncos played the Bills last week, and I didn't get to see the game because I was with me and my friend were playing around, so we didn't really watch the game. But I saw the recap and I looked at it and I asked Siri, and I wasn't very good. But we played the Bills.
Okay, maybe Siri should start doing Bronco Talk instead.
Yeah, just
maybe I could just ask Siri.
don't say hey Siri, or it'll show up on the screen.
Oh, okay.
That's why. They can only hear me though.
You're gonna be like, Hey Siri.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Bronco Talk next week?
Yeah.
Instead of Hayden?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So how did that game go? How did the game with the Bills go?
Well, we lost. The Broncos lost 16-26, and the Bills aren't a very good team. So it's kind of a surprise that they lost to us when many people betted that we were gonna win and beat them.
Well, what happened? How did we get to that point?
Offense wasn't very good. The offense had struggles. Let's just say that.
Simeon.
So, problem was, the Broncos passed on 71% of their plays in that game, but Simeon threw no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And
wow.
He's thrown, I think it was like 29.7% of his starts he's thrown a touchdown.
Okay.
Which is, he's only started 17 games. I mean, that's still good.
So a quarter?
Yeah, about a quarter of his games he's thrown a touchdown. That's still good for a guy who's only played 2 years.
Okay.
What else? The O-line had trouble protecting Simeon, and the wide receivers are actually really good. The running backs were not very good. Their run defense was really good that game.
Okay. What about defense?
The defense, let's see here. Von Miller had a sack, which ended his 6-game sack streak, or his 6-game with no sacks. They had 4 sacks overall in that game. We were unable to get a turnover at all. Von Miller actually played really good with 5 quarterback pressures and 1 sack. And the secondary did really bad, allowing their top wide receivers to get, their top wide receiver had 130 yards, which is not very good for our secondary. Our secondary is what the Broncos are known for.
Oh,
so that's not good for our secondary that season, or that game. That's all I have for that one.
All right, well, then let's move on to this week. Who are they going to be facing this week?
The Broncos are going to play the Raiders this week, so kind of a division rival.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that'll be rough.
Yeah.
It's going to be a hard one. How do they look this year?
The Raiders have been good this year. I think they're 2-1, as the Broncos are also 2-1. So the winner of this game could take second. I think the Broncos are second in their division. So the winner of this game could take second place.
So the Broncos could get knocked out a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But it's too early to predict playoffs right now. Probably by week 9 or 10, we'll be able to predict playoffs or not. But I don't know if we'll be able to predict them this early.
Seems early.
Yeah, people have already, Broncos are going to the Super Bowl this year. There was a Nuggets game last night, and I was watching it, and I was, watching there was, some Nuggets pages on the live stream, and it was, preseason right now. People were already, we already got the NBA champions. I'm too early to predict that. It's kind of preseason right now.
It's a long season.
Yeah, I'm it's 80-game season.
And they're not even in regular season now.
Yeah,
right?
they're still in preseason.
Exhibition.
That was the first preseason game.
Okay. All right.
So the Nuggets pages are kind of jumping it there.
Optimistic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are the keys to the game for today?
So, I couldn't find very many keys to the games, but I found matchups to watch. So, a matchup to watch was the Broncos' edge defense And the edge defense are just the guys who are on the outside. See when there's the guys that lined up next to the offensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like the two guys on the outsides. So those guys are the fastest guys who can get around. So you want to watch them versus the Raiders' offensive line, or their tacklers. Their
Oh, okay.
right tackle and their left tackle. Another one is the Broncos secondary versus the Raiders wide receivers. The Raiders wide receivers have always been very good. Now Amari Cooper and Crabtree, those are the guys you want to watch because those guys are their best wide receivers. Broncos inside linebackers versus the Raiders running backs. The Raiders do have Marshawn Lynch, who is kind of not doing his best he could do this year, but he is back from retirement.
Oh.
So he hasn't played in 2 years. So our inside linebackers will have to be able to watch him and keep up with him because he's still doing good. He's just gotta, I don't know, like our inside linebackers just gotta watch him.
Okay.
The Broncos defensive line and the Raiders offensive line and Marshawn Lynch. So that's 3 things. So it's if the Broncos defensive line can stop Marshawn Lynch and the offensive line can allow Marshawn Lynch to get through. And our problem right now isn't that we need to get around, it's that we need to stop Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
Because he's been doing good this season. I mean, he's not been doing great, but he's been doing good.
All right.
And right tackle Malik Watson versus Khalil Mack. There's been this debate that's been going on for a long time of who's the better defensive end, Von Miller or Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack is a really good defensive end. He put up what was it? I forgot. Some big number in sacks in his career. Put up over 50 sacks in his career. But there's always been this debate going on. So we'll see if Malik Watson can hold Khalil Mack from sacking Simeon.
Oh, okay.
And that's all I have
I guess that's a big concern.
Yeah. Simeon's doing good this year.
To be able to make plays.
Yeah, and all we have in our backup quarterback is Osweiler. So Osweiler and Chad Kelly, who's not supposed to be cleared till week 6 because
Osweiler hasn't even played for the Broncos yet since he started.
Yeah, he hasn't played for the Broncos since he played for the Browns.
Okay. All right.
That's all I have for Mike. That's the 5 keys.
Who's out this week? Who's injured?
So Lynch is out because he's still got shoulder, and Cody Latimer is questionable with a knee injury. And that's all the injuries we have this week.
Oh, well, that's good. Everybody's pretty healthy.
Yeah.
All right, that's good news.
Yeah.
What about the other team? Did you look that up?
They didn't release who their 7 inactive players are yet, so I haven't seen. But the game starts at 2:25.
So we'll know by then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So prediction.
I predict the Broncos to win 28-15. The Raiders do lead the series overall, 62-52, I think, in 7 ties. But I do think the Broncos can overpower the Raiders this year, even though Derek Carr last year did great, and now he's kind of in that slump that every player goes into after they have a strong year. Yeah. So he's kind of going into that slump. So I predict the Broncos 28-15 win.
Okay.
And then that's all we have for the Broncos.
So there was a question last week about whether you ever predict a loss. And you did.
Yeah.
You predicted a loss against Dallas.
And we won.
We won, but that video didn't get posted because we had some
GoPro
technology issues with the GoPro.
Which is what we used to film on. Now we film on my new phone.
We're using a phone now, so
yeah.
Hopefully
it's different.
Quality has improved in the Bronco talk.
Yeah.
So and then there was some other Denver sports news, right?
So not the Broncos. Last night the Rockies clinched the playoffs, and it's the first time in 8 years. They haven't been in the playoffs since 2009. And so it's their first wild card. well, it's not their first wild card, but it's their first time in the playoffs in 8 years. So good job to them.
Exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah, go Rockies.
Yep.
And you said we were talking about this earlier. The Nuggets started.
The Nuggets season
They
started,
started up.
and the Avalanche's season also started. But
Wow. So we got.
yeah, because basketball
Oh.
and hockey do about the same. They start about the same time.
The end.
And
around
that's
the same
why-
time.
The Pepsi Center. There's two Nuggets and the Avalanche both play at the Pepsi Center. But those two teams have to talk about their schedule. Because when the Avalanche have a home game, the Nuggets have to have an away game or they have to have a day off.
Right.
So the NBA, when they're making the Nuggets schedule, they have to also be talking with the Avalanche about when they have their games. It's really confusing.
Is that the case with other teams too?
The Raiders, I think the Raiders and the Oakland A's play in the same field.
They do? Football and baseball?
Yeah, they can transfer it to a football and baseball field.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's actually pretty cool. I've watched videos on how they do it, but yeah, the Oakland A's. But baseball season pretty much ends when football season starts.
There's not a lot of overlap. I mean, baseball
Yeah.
does go into October.
Yeah, but that's playoffs if
The
your
playoffs,
team. But the
yeah.
Oakland didn't make it to the playoffs,
Oh, okay. So
so
they're out.
yeah. All right, well I
Okay,
think that's all.
Good.
Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.